be Tennessee, Florida. That would be the signature marquee game that everybody talked about all off season. I'm going to tell you the game I think by far is that game coming up the 2025 season. We'll kick that around as we go. NFL playoff preview. Not too early to start looking at the games coming up this weekend. Bo Jackson, I want to work in a story about Bo Jackson. I don't know if you followed. Boy, an ugly inter-family fight has been going on involving Bo Jackson and one of his nieces and nephews. It's working itself out, but, man, it got ugly. Interesting story from Ohio State's football program. They kicked a walk-on off the team, and I think there's a reason behind it. We'll talk about that story as we kick things around. The NFL wild card TV ratings were not good, and you don't say that very often. That is not said very often around the NFL and TV ratings. I'll get some deeper numbers as we go. So I did not know. Did I hear Patrick Stern around? I don't know if I did. I don't think I did. I think it might have been at the studio. We hope to hear from Patrick and have him comment on some of our topics that we have introduced with our game plan. Hey, don't forget now, I want to remind you again, I'm at Sliders. Of course, it's Thursday. Sliders features the best seafood, the freshest seafood from Safe Harbor Seafood. Nobody does it better. Right from the dock to your plate. You can't really get much fresher than that. They're basically out of the ocean onto your plate. Any and all seafood prepared to your specifications. Boy, they know how to do it and do it right here at Sliders. So again, backing up the news of the day, Bob Uecker passes away at the age of 90. Mr. Baseball, literally Mr. Baseball. That was his moniker. That was his nickname. And just a great ambassador, fun guy, happy guy. And we may have some cuts. I'm not sure if we do. Zach, can you clue me in? Do we have anything with Bob on it yet, or are we still grabbing those? I think we may still be grabbing some of those cuts. I wanted to play some of these as we go here on the program, if we might have those. Speaking of, Zach, I don't know if you're near a microphone. We were talking before the show. I guess your generation just kind of missed Uecker. You know the name, but probably don't know Bob Uecker, his work. And certainly Patrick, if we get Patrick on, he will be able to dive into the funny man, Bob Uecker, passing away today at 90. Ugly story coming out of Cleveland. The city of Cleveland. And when I tell this story, kind of think about how nasty it would be if it was going on here between the city of Jacksonville and the Jaguars over the stadium. It's not, thank goodness. But, man, how about this story? The city of Cleveland is currently suing the Browns team, the organization. Number one, on its surface right there, that ain't good. Oh, gosh. The city of Cleveland is now suing the Browns football organization. They're arguing about this brand new stadium that is going to be built, and it looks like it's going to be 50-50. Public funds and Cleveland's football ownership fund. So looking at a 50-50 split. The argument is where it's going to be built. The city of Cleveland wants the Browns' new stadium to be built lakefront, right basically where it's at now. They want to keep the stadium on the lakefront. I don't know the area. I haven't been to Cleveland ever. I'm assuming there's a decent development around there. The Browns team, the ownership, they want it more suburbs. They want it in the suburbs. And as I understand the story, it's about 15 miles apart. There's about a 15-mile difference, which is where the Browns want the new stadium versus where the city. But they are literally not threatening. As I understand it, Cleveland has sued the Browns. Now, take a step back and kind of put Jacksonville and the Jaguars in that. Stadium discussions in all these cities, including this one, they get heated. And there are people on each side. Build, build, build. Don't build. Don't use taxpayer money. Do use some taxpayer money, this and that. And it gets contentious. And it was a little bit contentious this go around. The stadium finally got approved, and there's no real discussion where it's going to be built. It's going to be built in the existing area. But can you imagine if that was the news of the day, dominating Jacksonville? Every time you turned on your television and watched the news and shows like this and radio shows, can you imagine how divided this city would be? And the fan base, the non-fans, how divided. If you heard that earlier today, the city of Jacksonville just slapped a lawsuit on Shad Khan and the Jaguar organization. Oh my God. I mean, you guys are partners, man, to a degree. Obviously, you've got to play nice. That would be an absolute disaster. That can't be going good in Cleveland. That cannot be going good in Cleveland. And I know the smart aleck person out there may say, well, why don't they just start and go 7.5 miles and 7.5 miles and build right there? But no, the story says that the difference in distance is about 15 miles. But the Browns, the organization, the ownership, they want this new beautiful stadium that they're going to construct. They want it more in the suburbs. And it doesn't go into deep reasoning why. I don't know that may bring it closer to a bigger population in that city of Cleveland. Not sure, but the city wants to build in the existing area lakefront. That stadium's always been known for being right on the lake. I can't. Just hard to imagine how divided and how ugly that could get. We'll have to track that story and see where that goes. Okay, so getting us started here on a Thursday. Terry Norvelle here. Don't forget, tomorrow we're back on the other side of the beach, down at Bricks Jacks Beach. Again, this is another day jumping to the college football championship game, which comes up Monday. This is another day that just hammers home this schedule of days off between CFP games. It's been bad. This has been one of the fumbles has been this 12-team playoff started December 20th. It'll end Monday, January 20th. 1 month. There have been too many gaps where nothing's happening. Too many dead days where nothing's happening. It just feels like, and I don't think I'm alone in this, it just feels like all of the momentum that those two semifinal games, they were both great games, but my God, they don't get to chase that with a championship game Saturday or Sunday. It's Monday. It seems like those two semifinal games were months ago. Too much time. And Brent Beard and I talked. One of the issues yesterday, we talked about this. One of the issues is college football still wants to hold on to January 1st. That is a magic day historically in college football with regard to bowls and now playoff games, playoff bowls. The problem with that is January 1st moves with regard to days of the week. It fell in the middle of the week, December. That really chopped things up. So that means you went a couple times. We've gone a week and then another half week to get to the next round. It's been bad. If you can tangibly, I think, feel the momentum being lost. I think one of the answers would be, and this will be hard. The Rose Bowl would fight and kick, and the Rose Bowl wants their game, and they call it the granddaddy of them all. The Rose Bowl is so adamant on their game, be it just the Rose Bowl or the Rose Bowl in the playoff rotation. They have always wanted and will always insist that their game is played January 1st, New Year's Day at 5 p.m. Eastern. That's the time slot they want. They've had it, and they're adamant. that's fine, but that means that's going to fall on a Wednesday some years, on a Thursday some years, on a Friday, on and on and on. And I think that's college football chasing New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and making such a fuss that they have to be, those 2 days have to be prominent. That causes this problem. Now, on years where New Year's Day is on Saturday, okay, it works out. It works out, but that's it takes a long time to get back around. Bad situation, though. It just feels like the college football playoff momentum, and it took a round or two to get the momentum. Remember, the college football playoff, the first round was terrible in terms of competitive football games. It was just like the NFL. That was terrible. But the college football playoff was picked up. Those were wonderfully dramatic semifinal games, both of them. You couldn't ask for better semifinal games. I mean, Texas down on the 1 yard line and trying to get in. And I mean, you saw them. They were great semifinal games. And it looked like Penn State was going to come back late, under a minute to go, getting the ball. And great games. But the momentum has been sapped. The other big problem you have is the teams that got a bye, and Brent Beard pointed this out, the conference champions and the teams that got a bye, they played their conference championship game in most cases on the first Saturday of December. The teams like Georgia, who were the 4 bye teams? Arizona State, Boise State, Georgia, and Oregon, right? Those are your 4 that got byes. They did not play a football game, even though their season was still going on, obviously. They didn't play for 3.5 weeks. You can't do that. No other sport in the universe, while the season is going on, no other sport goes, okay, we're going to just stop for 3.5 weeks. You just don't do that. And you certainly don't do that in a tournament-type setting. Just bad setup. They'll work that out. I think this is going to get worked out just like the college football. The timing of the portal is going to get worked out. But again, things that, Rome wasn't built in a day. Things take time. When we come back, let's talk about those numbers. Surprising NFL TV numbers that weren't real good. You don't hear that very often. A lot of topics on the game plan. We'll get to them as we go here on a Thursday. We're live, of course. If it's Thursday, it is Sliders Oyster Bar. You know it by now, down in Neptune Beach. Come by, say hi. Now, I was talking to some people that were still traveling, some people from up north, and they were getting out of here. They loved the place. They were so happy they found this place. Very happy with their late lunch or early dinner. Not sure which that was. Check it out. They feature the Safe Harbor Seafood. Terry Norvelle and you on the other side. It's the Young and Norvelle Show on a Thursday from Sliders Oyster Bar.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Every type of you want, of course, you can have it right here at, I guarantee it's on the menu here at Sliders Oyster Bar. Of course, famous for their oysters. Everything seafood can be found here. And they also have some non-seafood stuff on the menu, just in case somebody in that party that comes out here with you. They may not be in the mood. They may have had seafood last night. They've got some stuff to take care of that person as well here at Sliders Oyster Bar. Fun just hangout place too, man. This patio that we broadcast on, sitting right here on the patio, it's climate controlled. Multiple heaters. They got about 10 heaters everywhere, basically heaters over every table. And they have the drop-down clear, plastic clear drop-down walls that they can control the climate here, and people just have a great time. Even this time of year on the patio, you can certainly dine inside if you would like. Sit at the drink bar and or belly up with Johnny Pop, the famous oyster shucker here at the Oyster Bar. They've got it all, and they do it with a flair at Sliders Oyster Bar. If you know, you know. If you don't, get down here and enjoy some seafood and some great ambiance. Sliders Oyster Bar, featuring safe harbor seafood. Terry Norvelle here on a Thursday. Tomorrow back down at Bricks. Looking forward to that as well as we wrap up the week. We've got a lot of topics still to get to here on the program, including one that I'm going to introduce now and dive into, mainly because this just doesn't happen all the time. How about this? The NFL wildcard round, the TV numbers are in, the viewing numbers are in from the NFL wildcard round, and viewership was down 9.3%, basically 10%. That's a pretty good number. 10% reduction in viewership from the NFL playoff wildcard round, and they averaged 28.3 million, but that's 10% down from last season. And it's also reading the story, a bigger decline than what the league experienced during the regular season. A little bit interesting and unique. According to the league and Nielsen, the 6 wildcard round games averaged 28.3 million, as I said, on television and digital platforms, compared to 31.2 million last year. The 2 Saturday games held steady, while the Sunday and the Monday matchups saw declines. Interesting. interesting that, and you wonder, the two games on Saturday held steady. Remember, the NFL went 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, 1 on Monday. That was their Super Wild Card round. I'm trying to go back and remember the college guys went Thursday, Friday, right? And is that Patrick out here, or did I hear somebody? No? Blind here a little bit. So anyway, I'm trying to piece this together and see, is there a correlation? Was there just too much football in a row? I think, if I remember right, the college guys, semifinal game 1 was Thursday, semifinal game 2 was Friday, 2 Saturday NFL wildcard games, 3 Sunday, 1 Monday. And this is saying that the Sunday, Monday NFL days were the days they really declined. I wonder if it was, could that have been football fatigue? Interesting. Biggest takeaway from the weekend is that the audience here is a big positive takeaway from that wild card weekend, though, that the NFL is happy about. The biggest takeaway from the wild card super wild card weekend is that audiences have seemed to have acclimated to one of the games being on a streaming service. Now, that's going to make the NFL very happy. Baltimore's victory over Pittsburgh, which you had to have the Amazon Prime, I guess, that averaged 22.07 million on Amazon Prime Video. It is a record for the most watched game on Prime, surpassing the 17.2 million that viewed Detroit Green Bay back on December 5th. So, overall numbers from Super Wildcard Weekend for the NFL down almost 10%, and that's a big number. But the game they had streaming only, and I didn't watch the game. I don't have that. If I do, my daughter's going to have to come find it for me. I don't think I've got Amazon Prime Video because I had to follow. I remember following Pittsburgh, Baltimore on the Gamecast. So that's good news, though. Johnny Pop, how you doing? You off? All right, hang tight, man. Let me see how I can. I want to talk to some Johnny Pop here. If you're around during the break, Johnny Pop's taking a break from the Dadgum Oyster Bar, and he deserves it. He certainly does. Let me get back to the numbers, though. It was a drop of 3%, 3% drop from the 23 million that averaged on Peacock for the Miami-Kansas City matchup. The most viewed game of the weekend, the Super Wildcard weekend, was Philadelphia's win over Green Bay on Fox, which averaged 35.6 million in the Sunday late afternoon window. However, that was a 11% decline from the Packers-Cowboys game on Fox, aired that similar time last year. Interesting. And that was this past the division. They're talking about now the division round of playoffs. Washington's comeback win over Tampa on Sunday, the most competitive game of the wild card weekend round, averaged 29 million on NBC. That was down 19% from last year's Rams-Lions. Basically, same time, same slot right there. That is a big number. Man, you just don't see these declines to, a percentage here and there's one thing, 10%, 19%. Houston's victory against the LA Chargers in Saturday's first game on CBS averaged 25.6 million, only 1% off from the Browns-Texas game on NBC last year. So, again, they did well Saturday. There are 2 games on Saturday, and they were comparable with last year, so they really didn't lose anything. But then the Sunday-Monday games, Buffalo's blowout of Denver in Sunday's first game averaged 31.1 million on CBS. That matched the audience from last year's Steelers-Bills game in that slot, which was delayed until Monday due to weather. The Rams' rout of Minnesota on Monday night averaged 25.3 million on ESPN and ABC, down 13%. Now, that was that game wasn't real competitive, but down 13% from last year's Eagles-Bucks game. The league averaged 17.5 million during the regular season, while it was the 6th highest average dating back to 1995. It was still a 2-point decline from the season averages a year ago. Interesting. Prime Video's Thursday Night Football package As you know, they had a package on Thursday. That package this year was up 11%, but Monday Night Football on ESPN and ABC was down 14. Monday Night Football had 3 fewer simulcasts on ABC, which contributed to the decline. So there, again, is the really, I think, the news that really makes them happy from this entire viewership story for the NFL with regard to playoffs and just NFL viewership. The fact that the one game in the playoff Super Wildcard round, the one game that was streamed, had great numbers again. So that's got to make the NFL very, very happy, as they have been selling inventory to these streaming sites out there. Good numbers mean higher numbers mean more, go find more streams and revenue sources. Also, this final paragraph, and particularly the final sentence in the final paragraph, has got to make the NFL very, very happy. Prime Videos, and we're talking about this past regular season that just ended. Prime Video's Thursday night football package was up 11%. That's a big number now from last year. Now, this is all kind of new, so certainly the numbers will massage themselves out, but that has to make the NFL very, very happy. So some mixed numbers in these, but it was pretty shocking to read an article where there are multiple times cited that with the ratings, the NFL was suffering double-digit losses in ratings. That doesn't happen very often. It really doesn't. So interesting. And of course, playoffs continue. The big playoff games come. Really, the nitty-gritty now is hitting. I mean, the nitty-gritty is really hitting a couple games Saturday, a couple games Sunday. Looking forward to those ball games. We'll talk about those games, kind of preview the Friday preview, if you will, with the NFL. Okay, I teased it a minute ago. I'm going to go ahead and go to break here in a couple minutes, but I want to come back with a different angle. It kind of hit me earlier today putting the show together, and you guys hear me out. Maybe there is validity to this. Maybe there's not. It deals with Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders. Are they a package deal? Is that good? Anyway, we'll talk about the potential of Deion and Shedeur, father, son, head coach, quarterback, being a package deal. Is that the right way to go? Are there any we know the benefits. What about the negatives? I don't think anybody's talked about the negatives. I'm going to bring one big one up, and we'll kick that around on the other side. Let's go ahead and take a break here, and we'll come back, reset the show, get into that Deion and son topic I want to get into, among other things. Terry Norvelle coming to you live on a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Man, I hope you got out at lunchtime, or maybe you can get home and get back out of the house, even if it's walking around. Man, it is gorgeous out this afternoon, this evening. Hope you can take advantage of it. I know I'm enjoying my time right here on the patio at Sliders. Back after this quick timeout on Action Sports Jax.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
All right, back at it here on a Thursday. Man, I'm loving this weather. Gorgeous weather out on the patio at Sliders, and just a fun atmosphere. A lot of walkers, a lot of runners, a lot of bikers going by. Gorgeous weather. Perfect time to come enjoy a great seafood meal and just kind of hang out, get yourself a drink. And this is, before long, it's going to be hot. You know it. It comes and goes quick here. Enjoy this good, crisp weather. Cold again tonight, I think. And then I think next week we get really cold again. But, man, right now, today, this afternoon could not have been much prettier. About 65 and just crystal clear. Glad you're with us here on the Young and Norvelle show. So very happy you spent some time in the afternoon with us. Patrick, hopefully he may check in. I want to hear from Pat. Remember now, this is his time of year. He travels Tuesday, Wednesday, and is wore out when he gets back from Charlotte doing his SEC analyst work. So we may or may not hear from Patrick Young today. All right, a couple things I want to get into. Deion Sanders, and Zach, if you're back there, I want you to fire up, and I'd like to get your comments on a couple of things. And I think you've got something we want to talk about around some comments made by Travis Hunter. Here's my thought on Deion, though, and Shedeur Sanders. And I'm just going to throw this out. It's widely understood that if Deion Sanders was to make a jump to the NFL, that somehow, some way, the jump would include some kind of deal, some kind of trade, some kind of this, some kind of that. Jerry Jones, Cowboys manipulate to where Deion would be the coach and they would be in a position to draft his son, Shedeur Sanders. Nobody's kind of thrown this out, but I will. If you're Shedeur Sanders, do you want to be an NFL quarterback in an NFL locker room playing for your daddy? And nobody's pointed that out. Shedeur Sanders does not need Deion Sanders to get him to the NFL. Shedeur Sanders is going to be a high draft pick in the April draft regardless if Deion Sanders ever coached football or not. So Shedeur doesn't need Deion to get Shedeur into the NFL. But with that said, will it, the dynamic of Shedeur now, he's gone through college. He's a young man. He's about to get drafted. He's about to have, not that he doesn't have money in his pocket now, but he's about to run into some life-changing money. And you go to the NFL, you're your own man now. If you were Shedeur Sanders, will it be a good dynamic to be playing for your daddy? That's a rare occurrence in the NFL. Has it ever happened? Maybe. But, I mean, and Zach, I'd like to get your thoughts on this. How's that going to play in a locker room? And how's it going to play if things aren't going good on the team?
Mm-hmm.
How's it going to play if that team's offense is scuffling and these grown-ass men in the locker room I don't think anybody's thought of this angle that I just threw out, Zach.
I think there would definitely be a certain element of awkwardness there for sure. I mean, yeah, and that's kind of a thought. I would tend to agree with this. If I was Shedeur Sanders, I would not want. It's one thing to have it in college. It's one thing to have it in college, which even to me, I feel like that's kind of a step too far. I feel like past high school is too far. High school is almost like that AAU age.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But then once you go off to college, you shouldn't have it. But I mean, if your dad is Deion Sanders and he gives you all those advantages, I mean, you want to take advantage of those too. But yeah, following me to the NFL would be about one step too far. Though. Yeah.
I could not agree with you more. And I'm glad you went back. High school, yes. And you know what? High school, when the high school kid, if he in high school or with his AAU team in the summers or whatever, any sport, if they're doing these long trips and stuff, well, I probably want a parent going on a trip like that and being around and even playing for the dad. I think it's acceptable. But anything over that is kind of weird. I get the college stuff. Okay, I get that. But I'm telling you, nobody's pointed out this angle. That could be a weird locker room, and it could be tough on Shedeur because you know what? He's probably going to go to a team that's not real good, right? Mm-hmm. And if Deion was to weasel his way, if Deion, anybody, because he's going to go early in the draft, so generally you're going to go to a team that's not very good. If Deion somehow pulled strings and he got the Giants job and Shedeur is the quarterback, right? That team is not very good. And that'll be a neat offseason story. Wow, Deion and his son and Giant Nation in this example. Yeah, this is cool. This is neat. All offseason is cool. But how about when they open up 1-4? And how about when the offense, because they got bad players, is scuffling? You've got Shedeur Sanders and his dad. What about, the locker room is also, Zach, I want you to comment on this. The locker room in sports is supposed to be the players' escape. It's supposed to be the players' their kind of castle. You know what I mean? That's where the players, and they're not in there just talking about the favorite TV show that night. They're in there when things are going good, talking good. But when things are going bad, players are talking and players bitch at each other. And all of a sudden there's daddy boy quarterback. It could be weird. It could be weird, Zach.
Yeah, there's probably a bigger sense of self-awareness when the coaching staff is not or is doing a poor job in the NFL. I think that it's pretty unlikely that Shedeur Sanders falls past the Raiders. The Raiders are pick number 6, and so he's either going to go there or to the Giants, the Browns, or the Titans.
Yeah.
None of those are particularly stable franchises, and if you bring Deion to that. Yeah.
Meaning those offenses aren't probably going to be humming along. And Shedeur is going to be a rookie. And if he gets the keys and all of a sudden that franchise is 1-5 and they're averaging, 18 points a game, that locker room And remember, I think you played enough sports too. A locker room is the sanctuary for the players. That's supposed to be where you can go. You can get bitched out and yelled at on the field, on the court during practice, or even during a game. But when you come into that locker room, right, that's supposed to be the players' respite, getaway, right? And that's supposed to be their safe space. I'll never forget. I think it was Coughlin. Wasn't it Coughlin when he came back? And remember, he came back as the almost general manager here, and it was a disaster. Remember, Coughlin came back. Con hired him for
I'm not so sure that it was a disaster. I mean, they made it to the AFC Championship game. They won that run, but yeah, I don't know what you mean.
And it got ugly. Well, where I'm going with this, I'm almost positive it was Coach Coughlin when he came back. He was talking about having the construction crew down at the stadium where his office was. And, he wasn't in the head coach's office anymore because he wasn't the head coach. Remember, he was like the advisor, general manager.
Yeah, I think he was the head of football operations, the president, something like that. So one of those deals, yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't his. So he wasn't in the head guy's office, right? That was the head coach. There was talk that Coughlin was asking, and I'm almost positive it was Coughlin. He was asking if the construction crew down there could kind of build a window in one of his walls that would see into the locker room. You with me?
Yeah.
And there was great pushback by the players.
Oh, yeah, you don't want that.
For just what I said. Hey, the players were going, wait a second. That's supposed to be when we cross that threshold. That's our safe space, man. And that's our players' lounge, basically. You're not supposed to go in the teacher's lounge, right? Hey, principal of the school, go to your own lounge, okay? Go to the administrator's lounge, okay? Don't go in the teacher's lounge.
Right? Yeah, because as friendly as you think you may be, you're still making the teachers uncomfortable with your just being there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And if the principal needs to talk to a teacher, you summons the teacher and y'all meet in an office. You don't want Big Brother 24, right? And they didn't build that. They didn't build that window because the players groused about that. But man, I wonder what an awkward spot Shedeur could be in. He's supposed to be a grown man and he's playing for his dad. You know that he's going to get busted on if that scenario happens, right? In a guy kind of fun way. But if things get going bad, it's easy to cross the line and go, well, Daddy's boy. If Daddy's boy hadn't thrown 4 interceptions, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, you're just setting yourself up for that because I mean, either Deion's going to show him favoritism or he's got to go the other way and just treat him like the exact opposite, be extra hard on him, and either way, it makes it where it's a bad dynamic, and the rest of the players, it'll just be just awkward.
It would be. I haven't heard that hit me this morning. I went, wait a minute. What about the locker room aspect of this? I mean, the NFL, you're a grown. If you're playing the NFL, you're a grown man. And you wonder deep down in the back of his mind, what does Shedeur think about that? And does Shedeur feel like he's strong enough to say, Dad, I love you to death, but do I need to play for you in professional football? Dad,
that's a hard part. Yeah, would he actually tell him that directly if he did feel that way? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't really know enough about their relationship to know that. Maybe he would. I don't know.
Yeah. You were saying that Travis Hunter came out with something today. Catch us up on that.
Yeah, we got a quote here. I just put it up on screen. He says, "How you get $10 million? Where's my $10 million? How are people getting this much money, bro? Hold up. Let me go test this out. Let me go back. I'm going back to college," which I'm assuming he says that, sarcastically. He says, let me see if I can get $100 million. Let me see if I can go win another Heisman, because $10 million, I ain't make that much in college. Let me go hit the portal. And he said this on the heels of learning how much one Carson Beck made upon transferring to Miami. Because it's an insane amount of money these guys are getting. They're going to be staying in college for 5 years.
I know this is going to sound funny, but isn't it only $4 million, not $10 million that the Beck?
Yeah, I honestly don't. I thought it was $3.7 million. I don't know where he's pulling his figures from. Maybe he's averaging it out over the course of 4 years. If he would have, I don't know.
I'm with you. I think it did come out. I think it did actually come out as 3 point something high.
Yeah.
It wasn't called for, but it just got called for. Yeah, I'll tell you another thing. That's interesting. That is interesting. And I wonder why he says that. What's the benefit of him saying that? I wonder. Or is there a benefit?
I mean, if I had to guess, I would say that someone just put a microphone in front of his face and he just started talking.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's just.
I will say this: there's one not story, but fan talk that keeps getting kicked around with this Beck thing. Well, look, $4 million. That's more than, and you can list all the first-year quarterbacks that got drafted. There's a list, from Caleb Williams to Jaden, from Williams to Daniels, all the quarterbacks that got drafted, and it's making viral. It's making its way around the viral world. Well, Beck's $4 million is more than. Look at all these quarterbacks; they're not making this in their first year as a salary. Well, what they're forgetting is all those first-year NFL quarterbacks, their salary is low because the NFL is built on signing bonus. They all have monster signing bonuses. So if Caleb Williams' salary this year, and I'm just throwing a number out, if his actual salary was $2 million, well, Beck's made more, yes, in salary. But Caleb Williams signed for $35.5 million. He was handed $35 million signing bonus.
I should just look it up. It's $25.5 million, which is still, point made. Yeah, a pretty penny for sure.
Yeah. So that's one of those. The fan doesn't get deep enough into it. Mm-hmm. The NFL is built on signing bonuses. They want upfront cash.
Yeah, that's how it's almost how you get like the under the table for the salary cap in a way and get around some of those numbers. Yeah. I think a way a lot of these college athletes are going to look at it is staying in college longer is safer. But if you were to go to the NFL and you can go in the top pick, it is faster to get the higher money quicker to go to the NFL, because then you get to that you get 1 year closer to that second contract, and when you get that second contract, that's when you really get that wealth money, that $100 million and et cetera.
And I still think I think the current college athlete that is getting paid now under the NIL and legality of getting paid, the current professional college football player, I think this is a guinea pig period still. It's going to take 3 or 4 years, 4 or 5 years for it to work out. I think that when everybody steps back after 4 or 5 years and looks at ROI, return on investment, there's a good chance these numbers drop. This is just, because in something brand new like NIL, you almost have to just throw spaghetti on the wall to have a starting point. You go, 4 years from now, people may go in the colleges go, well, there's no way there's a return on investment. The highest we're going to go is 1.5. I think it's going to work itself out in time.
Yeah, the market has to be set, and right now people are overbidding for talent, and that's gonna even out over time. Especially with all the different colleges employing general managers. The general managers are going to speak with one another. They're going to set out. They're basically gonna, price gouge. They're gonna set a market for the players, and it's gonna be, a quarterback is this, and a wide receiver is that, and it will even out for sure.
I definitely think it will. It'll have to. I think just the ROI, and what's going to really help this, if people can just be patient, is the salary cap's coming too. The salary cap's coming to college football, so. You're going to have to, you only go so high. And what'll happen is the player can still go out and cut their own deal, but the college can't be involved at all. And if it's found out that the college underhandedly is giving Zach Rothrock his NIL money and under the table setting up, well, that'll be that'll be a violation. You can't do that.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they are able to police that with people getting paid under the table. But it'll be better once they get that.
It definitely will. We're at the top of the hour, Zach, but I want to dive in and get your thought. I don't know if you heard the story earlier. It sounds like in Cleveland it's ugly right now. Can you imagine if over the issue of the stadium here in Jacksonville? Can you imagine if it got to the point where the city of Jacksonville literally filed a lawsuit against Shad Khan and the Jaguar Football Club over this. You know how ugly that would be here in the city? That's what's going on in Cleveland.
It definitely feels like a bad situation. That was one I didn't really know about until you brought it up earlier. But yeah, that's not where you want to be, especially with.
I mean, and you know, I don't care what city you're in. When the discussion of we need a new stadium or arena, when that pops up, there's always a divide, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a vocal side that says there should not be any money put in publicly, blah blah blah. There's always that divide. It got divided here just for a little. It didn't get to. It got done quick here, right? When Donna Deegan got in, it got done quick, right? But there's always a divide. Can you imagine how heated that divide would be if there was legitimately a lawsuit filed by the city against the team? Oh my God, that must be hotter than hell.
I mean, that would be bad, but yeah, well, I mean, I think it seems like there's a disconnect between the ownership and the fan base when you want to move to a dome outside the city. I mean, it would be like if the Jaguars were to move to a dome in St. Johns County instead of being downtown. And I think that hurts the city of Cleveland even more because, I mean, Cleveland Browns fans are like crazy loyal. I mean, to the sense where they're almost like in a toxic relationship with their team. They sell out every home game, and they believe that this year is their year every year. And you want to take their beloved franchise that they've been loyal fans to and move it 30 miles away and put it in a dome. They want to be shirtless in the snow and drink beer and watch the Browns. Like, they don't want to go to some dome and 45 minutes away. So it's a disconnect.
I'm speaking out of turn, but I think I know enough from afar to speak to what you just said. That stadium, I think it goes back to 1946 when it was built lakeside, right on the water, built on the water.
Yeah, they probably just remodeled it since then. Yeah.
So being next to the water has always been a trait of that stadium. And I could see where the pushback. Well, what do you mean you're going to take it to the suburbs? They want to. The Browns want to send it to the suburbs, and off the waterfront. That would be like Pittsburgh. The Steelers are known for playing and having their stadium right there where all that water comes together. The Three Rivers.
Yeah, Three Rivers, right?
I mean, can you imagine if Pittsburgh? Hey, let's move this thing into the suburbs, way away from those Three Rivers.
Yes, it'd be like moving it like to the mountains somewhere and just outside of it. Yeah, it's just not good. Yeah, I don't. I'm sure that money is the bottom line in their decision making, and that appears to be the root of most of the problems with the decisions that these owners make. But yeah, I mean, it's just really just a slap in the face to Browns fans to a certain extent.
And the passionate people here, if the city filed a suit against the Jaguars on both sides, they would be either side of that you're on. How dare the city? They're going to run off our team. And then if you're on the city side, how dare this organization? It shouldn't have come to this. They should have. Man, I couldn't imagine the heat would be going on.
Well, so if they move outside, would that mean that they would lose all like the parking revenue that they get, so to speak? Yeah, I would imagine they do. So I would imagine that's why the city is suing. They would lose all that.
Yeah. And obviously both sides have what they think are legitimate arguments. What you said from the city side is, number one, it was in the heart of Cleveland, right? It's in whatever county that is. And all the stuff that goes with that much commerce being in your county. Conversely, the Browns have to have a reason. I would imagine maybe the bigger population centers are more close to the suburb, maybe. Easier for the fans, easier to draw fans. There's got to be a big reason on both sides. But how are they going to come together? Are they just going to meet like halfway in the middle and build right here?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Because it says that it would be in Brook Park, Ohio, which I'm not sure that'd be the same county.
Yeah.
But that I think that's playing a factor in that for sure.
Yeah. And you said you saw 30. I saw something that said it's being proposed 15 miles from where it's at.
Yeah. 15 is what it says.
Oh, 15. Yeah. But still 15 miles. I mean, you could probably, if you go a certain direction, from the stadium down there right now in downtown Jacksonville, 15 miles could probably get you out of the county, right? Yeah, you could get to Clay. You could probably get to Clay County. As the crow flies, you could be in Clay County 15 miles from that stadium. And
yeah, depending on which way you go, yeah.
Yeah, you could probably,
Yeah. Feels like Duval County's huge, but
yeah, no doubt. Interesting though, but man, that sounds like a simmering pot of you know what in Cleveland. When you have the city, and this is like you said, a beloved old franchise, and there's got to be a lot of how dare they on both sides. How dare they filed suit against our beloved Browns and vice versa.
Yeah, got to be one of the hardest teams to be a fan of. I mean, they already left and became the Ravens once. Now you want to make them leave again.
And they had that run with they were so close. I guess Denver tormented Cleveland. Remember Cleveland?
When they had Bernie Kosar, where they got beat by Elway, the drive.
Yeah, and the drive. And there were two games where what was it? Ernest Biner fumbled deep near the goal line going in, and Cleveland was just a step from the Super Bowl twice. But other than that, Cleveland's kind of been the lovable losers, and now that Detroit has taken that moniker away from Detroit, they're Cleveland's sitting there going, "Oh my God, you're Cleveland."
Yeah. I think it's Detroit, Buffalo, and Cleveland, all the three Lake Erie franchises that can just never get it done. But two of them are close now.
Two of them are close now. 1 hour down. We'll get back here and kick off hour number 2 on a Thursday. If it's Thursday, well, then it is Sliders Oyster Bar, the best seafood in our area. I mean, the menu is loaded with every type of seafood: the fish, the crab, the ceviche. They've got, of course, the oysters. It's in the name, Sliders Oyster Bar. They do it all when it comes to seafood, and they do it better than anybody else because they start out with the best seafood from Safe Harbor Seafood. We're coming back, kicking off hour number 2. A lot of topics to get into on the second hour. Stay with us here on the Young and Norvelle Show right here on Action Sports Jack.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Glistening there, but it is a little chilly. Going to get cold tonight again. We're in that time of year, I guess. We don't get much of it, but we get some of it, and we are in it. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Terry Norvelle here on a Thursday live at Sliders Oyster Bar. Zach Rothrock producing. Zach, I was trying to, and we'll get him on here in the next day or two. I'm trying to round up. I don't know if you remember the show from last year. We had a guy named Pete Melfi. He's kind of the organizer of last year it was the first ever Florida Man Games. Do you remember that, Zach? I think you were producing still back then. The Florida Man Games, and it's a bunch of wacky. It's supposed to be kind of the Florida Man Olympics. And
I don't necessarily remember
Zach,
that, but I've aspired to become Florida Man. I think I am Florida Man at this point.
I think you could be. You could be. The concept is, and last year was the first time it was held out in a field area. I think it's called Francis Field in St. Augustine.
Yeah.
Big field, and so this guy and these guys organized it. And the concept, Zach, is wacky events.
Mm.
And it drew like 5,000 people. And it was the first time they did it. And I can't remember all the events. I don't have it. We're going to try to get him on. We were trying to get him on today, and it didn't work out. The organizer.
Yeah. I remember having that guy on. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
And the event I love, they had all kind of crazy silly noodle mud fights and all kind. The one I love, and they got it again this year, they have the evade the police obstacle course for time. And they'll get you got to. I think a policeman chases a guy who's trying to evade him through an obstacle course. Don't you love that?
You got to be able to. I think I could handle being tased. Is that one of the contests? I think I could eat that. I'll get tased. I'll walk right through it. Let's go. I am Florida Man.
They've got all these crazy contests, and it was a wild. He said he had no idea how it was going to go. They got some advertising last year, and for people that don't know that whole Florida Man concept caught on. The Florida Man concept has been around probably 20 years, right? Oh my God, the crazy stories. And then you say, where did that happen? Oh, Florida. Oh, Florida. It's almost
Florida,
like the
man.
Karen. You know how the Karen thing popped up 10 years ago? Oh, don't be a Karen.
Right.
But the Florida Man, Zach, I don't have it in front of me because we didn't get him on, but we'll get him on. The contest. The events are just wacky. I've never been tased, man. You would do it?
Yeah, I think I could. I think I have a threshold. I think I could handle getting tased. Like if you had to get tased, but still finish a 40-yard dash or something like that. I think I could do it. Or maybe say the national anthem while you're singing it while you're being tased. I could do that.
Have you ever had at the doctor and they put on the electrical stimulation diode things for a muscle cramp or something? You ever had electrical stim?
I messed with that device when I was in high school at one point, not at the doctor's office, just like messing around. Basically some Florida Man type event, yeah.
And like if you go to the doctor or you go to a chiropractor, before they adjust you, sometime they'll have you lay down, and if they're going to adjust your neck, they may put some of those diodes, I think they're called, and it's basically like getting a electric massage deep into your to loosen you up. Well, you can control that. Sometimes they'll hook you up and say, okay, we'll be back in like 10 minutes, and sir, just you use the control and go as high as you can. Well, if you turn it with that electrical stem, if you turn it too high, it makes your muscles spasm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's the fun part.
That's what I would imagine getting tased is, but times 100. Because those people just fall down, man.
yeah. I mean, I would definitely like fall down. I would experience like whatever it is, but I think I would just battle through it better than your average person would. Like I would feel it. It would hurt.
Let me ask you this: just for the experience, if you were given the choice, you can do one: get tased for the experience, or what do you call the gas? What do you call it? You can have it.
Like pepper spray.
Pepper spray. Get pepper spray.
Well, I want to be tased.
Okay, I think I'd rather be tased too.
Yeah, I don't want the stuff. I don't like stuff going in my eyes. I don't like that. I'm colorblind. I'm scared to get even more colorblind. I don't want that. I don't know, man. I'm overthinking.
Are you really?
Yeah, I can never be a pilot. I can never be a pilot. If I ever wanted to fly planes, they just wouldn't let me. I couldn't get past that test. My dream was crushed before I even realized I had it.
Nice. Does that mean you are 100% just black and white, or do you see some colors a little bit?
No, I didn't realize that I was colorblind until I went to the doctor's, like the eye doctor, and I saw one of those tests, and I was like, man, I don't see anything on this. And I took another one. I was like, I don't see anything on this either. I see colors. I think I just don't see them the way everybody else does. I think it's blues and greens. Yeah.
And that's the test where they've got these like this
pattern.
All the dots. There's a number. They're
like, you're supposed to see 81 on this, and I was like, I don't see anything.
Yeah. I'll tell you something. Here's a little. Can you have eye doctor humor? Is there such a thing? Because I've done it. Eye doctor. When you go to the eye doctor, I've done this particularly when I go to new eye doctors. I haven't been. That one test where it may be glaucoma or what have you, or no, I think they're just measuring your eyeball. That's
what you got to tell the doctor that you have so you can get medical weed. The glaucoma.
Exactly. I think the one I'm talking about is maybe they're measuring your circumference of your eyeball, but you lean into it and you're looking like in a periscope, and way off in the distance, generally for years, the picture, and I guess it's a standard picture at most of them for years. It's a green field, and way in the distance, they tell you, okay, just look straight ahead at the farmer. It's a field, of crop. And it's very vividly green. And they say, look at the farmer on the tractor way in the distance. And that's what you're supposed to focus on. Well, when they tell me that, I always say this, Zach. I go, I see a girl in a bikini.
Yeah. I bet that they double over laughing every time, too.
Oh, they do.
I bet they do.
And I go, and I'll say, man, my eyes must be bad because I see a girl in a bikini.
Yeah.
You don't like that one? That's a good one, man.
I appreciate it. Like I said, I bet they double over laughing. I appreciate it. I do.
But, you got to have some humor. Next time I'm going to do it and say, hey, okay, well, I'm ready when you are. Go ahead and turn it on. You're like, sir, it's on. You just,
right.
No, I just see black. I just see black here.
Yeah, I would probably just see it as a blue background if I saw it. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Well, I didn't know you're colorblind. Learn something new every day.
There you go.
Learn something every day. Hey, Zach, you're a good guy. You're a SEC guy. Right. You're a good guy to kick this around. One of my third topic today I wanted to throw. We can do this all off season, but speaking of the off season, college football off season in the SEC, generally every year there's an off season game on paper. Right? You see a game on paper, and everybody. I don't care if it's sports talk radio or streaming or newspaper or whatever, periodical, whatever, podcast. There's generally an SEC marquee game, off-season. Everybody goes. And generally the last couple of years, man, Georgia's got to go to Alabama. Man, that's the big one. And everybody all off season, boy, that Georgia-Alabama game, September 21. That Georgia, some years recently, it's been LSU-Alabama when they were both good and winning titles. LSU-Alabama, they planned, boy, that regular season game is going to be there's always that one marquee game. Zach, way back when, almost every year, it was Florida-Tennessee. Oh, my God, Florida-Tennessee, that's going to be a monster game in Knoxville. There's always that game. I'm looking at the schedule this year, and one game, and a lot of times you got to have storylines off the field, too, to make it a monster game. I think the marquee monster offseason game on paper is a no-brainer. Any guess? You want to take a guess at what you think it is? I think it's a no-brainer. And it's got all kind of storylines.
If we are...
And by the way, Georgia and Alabama do play this year in the regular season.
All right.
They play in
I know one that I heard get hyped up a good bit by one Brent Beard, and that will be when the Texas Longhorns come to the Swamp to take on DJ Lagway and the Gators. I don't know if that's the obvious one you're talking about.
I think that is the 1,000% obvious on paper game that will get the most preseason because of everything. Texas has never been to Gainesville.
Mm-hmm.
Arch Manning will bring mega media just because his name's Arch Manning. Lagway.
What state did Arch play high school ball at? Not Texas, right? It was probably.
I think he might have played in Texas. That's a good question. Was he a?
It's in New Orleans. That Isidore Newman is in New Orleans.
He went to that same one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he went there. But I think it's by far on paper, it'll be that game. People are going to go, my God. Now, did you know Texas plays at Georgia next year as well? And I don't think they've ever been to Georgia. But, of course, Georgia doesn't have a Lagway-type PR quarterback.
Right,
Lagway, between Lagway and Manning, those two will make that a monster game. And it's early enough where neither team's going to be well under 500. It's like the first Saturday in October. So
So they shouldn't have any like huge or not multiple big losses. And it's a big storyline with DJ Lagway being he was the Texas High School Player of the Year? Or was he National High School Player of the Year out of Texas? But either way, the Texas Longhorns chose to pass up on him because they had Arch in the waiting, despite him winning that prestigious award right in their backyard. So that's a big storyline for sure.
It will be a monster off-season storyline. And I look around, obviously, Alabama goes to Georgia. In a weird way, that has been the biggest game for so many years. It's kind of lost its fastball a little bit, hasn't it?
We just don't know what we're going to get with Alabama. They got a bunch of guys hitting the transfer portal. We just don't know what's going to happen with them.
I tried to look around and think of other ones. It's not LSU at Alabama. It's not Tennessee at Florida. Had Tennessee had a bigger year, I think the jury's still out on Nico. I'm not sold on Nico. He didn't get better to me as the season went on.
Yeah, I'd rather have DJ Lagway than Nico for sure. I'd rather have Lenore Sellers than Nico right now, honestly.
I think the one that could rival it, but I still think Texas at Florida is the offseason big marquee game that most of your PR is going to go toward. The one that could rival it would be, I think, Texas at Georgia. Obviously, the storyline, Texas can't beat Georgia, right? They get a chance to beat them in Athens. I know Georgia will say you can't bring Bevo because nobody lets Bevo show up anywhere, right?
Yeah, no, he's not allowed.
Now, one game that could develop into the biggest game of the year in the SEC, it could be Florida-Georgia. It could be. It could develop into it.
Oh, it depends on what their record is.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think Florida-Texas will be the marquee big game. Big game coming into it.
Yeah, it should be. Do you think it's big enough where it would be the college game day game that week, or do you think it would just be this SEC Nation? You think it'll be the whole?
No, I think it would be. I think it would be game day. I think that's a big. Two Heisman guys going at it. The Manning angle. Oh my God! Imagine as much as you see the Manning brothers on TV, and I know it's geared toward the NFL. You can't tell me once Arch becomes the weekly starter at Texas, Peyton and Eli are going to be talking about Arch a lot too next year.
Oh yeah, they're going to be trying to get his draft stock up, even when he'll be his junior year.
Definitely.
Yeah, and with ESPN having all the SEC games or the majority of the SEC games, he's going to be. I wouldn't be that surprised if he gets like the LeBron treatment, the Cowboy treatment. It's going to be Cowboys, LeBron James, Texas Longhorns with Arch Manning. That's going to be like the three every day.
Maybe, definitely. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to try and get Johnny Pop on the air. Johnny Pop, the legendary Oyster Shucker here, and Johnny likes to talk some ball with us and find out what his thoughts are on some stuff going on and what all's going on here at Sliders. We'll take a quick break, come back, talking some ball with you. The Young and Norvelle Show continues on Action Sports Jacks.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, here we are back on the patio right here at Sliders. If it's patio time, it means Sliders. It means Thursday. Terry Norvelle, Johnny Pop from Sliders We like to throw him on every once in a while when he's not. You've been shucking him, man. There's been a good crowd here.
Yes, sir. It was actually really nice today.
Yeah.
The weather, it's amazing what 10 degrees will do in Neptune Beach.
And that's something.
Yesterday was tough because it stayed pretty chilly and the wind then was blowing. But today, I mean, granted, we got the Oyster Special every Thursday, $12 dozens, but 10 degrees difference, no wind. People willing
really
to come in and
changed
sit down.
I was talking to this couple two tables up from Michigan, and they were loving it. Just absolutely loving life. Johnny Pop, we like to talk about some different stuff, and we'll try and get into some stuff going on here at Sliders. You and I, well, let me back up. Today, a little bit of mourning. Bob Uecker passed away, 90 years old.
Yeah.
Everybody loved Bob Uecker. You and I we're still in mourning. Our favorite baseball player of all time, I think we've got the same guy. The beloved Ricky Henderson passed away a couple weeks ago.
Well, I'm going to stick with Charlie Hustle.
Charlie Hustle.
Pete Rose is probably my favorite all time. But Ricky Henderson, very close in the top 5 for sure. And it's just the hustle and then his love for the game. And speaking, I'd like to say that he learned it from Ricky Henderson. We don't know, but talking in the third person, everything was just an amazing thing to where a lot of people take that as arrogant. I think it is the man was full on business. I want to let you know what Ricky was going to do.
Let me see it. Do I hear Patrick Young stirring around in the background? Pat, is that you? Did you hear somebody stirring around in the background?
That's probably me. My head's moving.
No, okay. I don't think it was. We heard something. But Ricky Henderson, the great Ricky Henderson, passed away a couple weeks ago, and we were talking in the break. He brought a physicalness to the game of baseball. Everything he did was physical, but it looked pretty. He looked cool, didn't he?
Yeah, like I said earlier, he brought a swag to the game before we were really talking about swag. I'm a huge Hurricane fan, so we like to say we invented everything, but Ricky Henderson had it, man, and you wanted to watch him play, and another term is speed kills. And,
absolutely.
And if anybody's the definition of speed kills, it's Ricky Henderson.
And he'd get on base, and everybody in the park knew he was going. What pitch was he going on?
Right.
And just, you could feel the chaos between the pitcher and the catcher. They were nervous and they were scared, and the shortstop and the second baseman, who's covering? You better get there, and it better be a good throw.
Oh yeah,
and then
he would tell him
he
would do it.
He wouldn't stop on second. He stole third a million times.
Yeah. There's a guy out now, right, and playing for the Cincinnati Reds.
Is that De La Cruz?
Yeah, Ellie De La Cruz, and he was my favorite last year.
He's fun to watch, man.
Yeah, he's got that same kind of push and that same kind of drive, and he's uninhibited on taking chances, and luckily, I guess the Reds are allowing him that leeway. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's going to get caught more. He's going to do this, that, and the other, but I got that same feeling. I got that Ricky Henderson feeling with that kid, and hopefully,
he is pretty to watch.
Has a long career.
Big tall guy, man.
Yeah. 6'7". Come on,
yeah, big tall guy.
Man, if I would have made it past 6 foot, I think I would have been. I'm just kidding. but I do want to tell you, because I already told you before. But one of my favorites with Ricky Henderson is when somebody was trying to introduce him to John 3:16, and give him a little Bible knowledge, and Ricky said Ricky don't want to hear about John hitting 3:16. Ricky hitting 3:30.
And he said it just like that. He always talking to the third person.
Yeah,
always talking to the third person.
Man, I got the biggest chuckle out of that the other day when somebody brought that up again after his passing, and then I was telling it to a friend, trying to be funny a little bit, because it really cracked me up, and I loved it because that's what he was. He was all about the game. He was all about the sport. He was all about the hustle, and somebody said, "Oh, well, he should have listened." And I said, "Well, he wasn't answering in response to he didn't want to hear about the Bible. He was
exactly had nothing to do with religion.
As his batting average, and they said Ricky was going to hit 330, and I bet you he hit over 330 that year without question.
He probably did.
So,
it was interesting to look at his career. Ricky stole all the bases, Ricky Henderson, and it wasn't uncommon. A single, a walk. He gets to first base. He'd steal second and third, and it's almost like that almost should be considered he hit a triple. because he pops up on third base.
Right.
I mean, he gets credit for a single and a couple stolen bases, but I mean,
Yeah.
And then all you need is think about the advantage of that. He's constantly stealing bases.
Right.
Then all you need is a sac fly.
Right, absolutely.
To get him in from third.
You know, and it takes it back to the small ball, and and that's what a lot of people don't play anymore. You know, we want the long ball, we want the big bombers, which don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, and then but when you do get to see the small ball and you get back to the appreciation of the actual iniquities of the game and learning the strategies and how to play small ball. You know, I don't know. There's so much love and fun in the game.
I miss that part of baseball.
And when you
at
see
the high
it come,
level.
when you see it come back as a group, as a team effort, man, it's a beautiful thing.
Honesty compels me to say this. I to this day don't love the way Major League Baseball's played. I prefer it played more traditional, the way we grew up the game played. And it's not. It's hit a home run. It's throw hard.
Well, and speed
it
up. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to say it, put it out there, but in the beginning, because I played baseball pretty much half my life.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
And I love it, and I was hoping to make the show just like every other kid in America. But what I think, and I said it for many years, is that ESPN pretty much hurt baseball because you can see all the greatness in 2.5 minute clips.
Yeah.
And it made it harder to watch the whole game. So
I don't know if it made it harder to watch the whole game. It made it easier to watch the condensed game, which happens on the backside.
Well, what I mean is,
takes the guy away
if you're not
from
at the game, it's it's hard to watch the whole game. Especially a long drawn out pitcher's duel, even though the completion of the pitcher's duel isn't until the game's over.
Sure,
like you can have a no hitter up until the ninth inning, 1 out.
Yeah.
And then it's over, But, whatever. I still try to watch as much as I can, but I will confess that I don't watch whole games like I used to.
I agree. I fell out of love with baseball though about 15 years ago when the game at the major league level I'm talking about, when it became a swing for the fence and throw it as hard as you can and all the strategy. I came back to it. I had to. I love the college game. The college game still has, man, you got to butt that guy over. It still has game strategy. I love the college game way more than the major league game, the game on the field.
Yeah, and I have the same assimilation with football as well. And then, and I don't know if it's they're all trying to make it to the big level. I'm interested to see how this NIL stuff works out. That's got me a little precarious, and I don't think they should have put it in the high school game until at least 5 years in the college game, but we'll see what happens. I just think that's gonna create some kind of havoc that I don't think they're prepared for. You don't want to be giving high school kids that kind of money, and I know it's not going to be the same kind of money, but I mean, even giving a high school kid $1,000 a week, that's going to drive up playing areas all over the country.
Trouble. That could be trouble too.
It's going to be interesting.
What's going on at Slacker? What's new, man?
So we're in slow season theoretically. The weather's in combat. We've made some big striving grounds on getting a little more climate control. In all weather conditions. Hopefully by next year we'll have it all tied in and dialed in and get it done. But we finally got the accordion windows put in so where we can
that's
keep
really
the
nice.
building heated up. We got the patio heated up with the curtains and everything. So we're getting there, and then once we get full control of it, then we'll start putting it out there to try to get people to come back in and let us show them what we've done and how it's actually been. We've made it very comfortable and it's still the fun-loving place. And when the weather's good, we open everything up.
Absolutely.
And it's the place to be. If we could go 5 stories up, see the ocean from here, we probably would. But
incredible.
That's way down the road.
The colder months, we don't have a lot of them. What does the cold do for the oyster harvest? Does it affect?
So, generally, as long as you keep them 42 degrees or lower, they're going to maintain. The big thing with the oysters is the hot water. It gives the bacteria time. It doesn't take as long for the bacteria to build up, and then you can't get it back down. But most of that's out the window because either certain areas they won't harvest during that time. Plus, that time is also the spawning time to where they're making new oysters.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't know the whole science of all that, but it's
don't turn this into a dirty show now.
Yeah. So you want to give them that time to create new ones, so you keep beds going and moving forward. And I've learned a lot over the years, but generally, if that's the case with the hot water, we just move into a colder area. So we serve oysters year round without any fear. We keep them below 42 degrees and they hold up. We might go through in the summer months, we might go through some of that spawning season where they do get a little creamy. Some people love it. Some people don't. Some people love it because, it's a different time of year and it definitely makes the oyster taste different. But some people, they just don't. They don't want any part of it.
Go down the Godzillas. Go down. What are all the Rockefeller? What are all the oysters you got?
So, just like anybody that has any well, I can say anybody, but almost everybody has an Oyster Rockefeller Oyster Casino. It's pretty common throughout the country. We are making some changes right now, so I really don't have I couldn't put together all of the menu right now. We brought in a new chef. We brought in a new KM we're gonna dial in some more things. We're gonna get back to some old things, and we're gonna bring in some new things that are gonna be a lot of fun. We're trying to dial all that in during the winter months, and be ready to go when spring hits, and then we'll just have the ball rolling, and we'll be able to tell you everything we do. We're gonna try a couple things here. We got the dedicated locals that are come rain or shine. They're gonna come. They're gonna let us know, and they're gonna taste the things we're trying to make changes to. I think we already had an exceptional clam chowder. I think we got a clam chowder that'll touch base with anybody right now. It's just absolutely delicious. We reworked the bacon wrapped scallops. Okay. Now they're standing on tongs like a totem pole. Changed the sauce. I mean, the sauce is just amazing. It's a whole new experience, and they're beautiful as well. Coming to the table. I haven't seen a person that's got the new bacon wrapped scallops. I'll pull out their phone and take a picture of it. And then the smile on their face when they take the first bite is just, wow, that's a good change, So I'm excited to see what we coming through. We're going to bring in a whole bunch of new things probably in the next 6 to 8 months. We'll be the same sliders that wants everybody local and everybody coming in to visit. A couple other things, but I watched it and God bless Mark Rick. I said, well, God bless Mark Rick. I said, well, we already tried to take Mark Rick out of Georgia. So my initial knee-jerk reaction was, well, he didn't have the end of the season. I know it was an injury, but he when he mentioned he was going pro, and then I guess
2 days later,
I don't know if his agent or whatever said, yeah, you're probably not a good idea right now. But in my groups, I mean, there's been some praising because he was great and he was top tier before he got hurt. So that's exciting. I know we'll have the speed, and I know we'll have the reckless chaos that we like in Miami to jump under the ball. But it's about 50-50 in my groups to where
is that right?
Some of them are going off hardcore and saying that guy's a ninth round draft pick, and then other ones are like, So I've definitely read both ways. I'll say my knee jerk reaction was, I think he had a shot, and God bless injuries. I hate that for anybody, especially when they're headed towards a great career, and hopefully he's going to get it anyway. I think we're so close to putting the right whole team on the field that I'm still in limbo. I want to see what the offseason does and how they talk about him during that.
The offense will look different. There won't be and I called it, and God, he was great at it. Cam Ward had a lot of bailout yardage. The play went bad. He bailed you out. He's so athletic. So that's not exactly Beck's game. It'll look different.
Right. Well, the one thing that I think Beck hopefully will enjoy, because I don't know all the stats on who's leaving, who's going, but the one thing that Cam Ward did have in that realm is sometimes he had 7 to 10 seconds in the pocket to think about that, and then even at risk, he would still get rid of it somehow in the emergency part of it. But if you get 7 to 10 seconds,
he's running around.
Quarterback in the
somebody's getting open.
Should be able to find somebody.
Somebody's open, right?
Yeah. And I wish Cam the best of luck. I'm happy he broke the record and he got it done from a zero.
He's got a shot. He's got a shot in this league because this league, the big league now, they want legs. Legs are important now. Look around. Legs are important in that position.
I think careers are getting shorter also in the NFL. We're not going to have too many more, Brady's or
that day's over, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the 20-year careers are over.
I think so. All right, Pop.
Game's getting too fast.
Yep. All right, Pop,
Terry,
enjoyed it.
always a pleasure, my friend.
Exciting times going
Y'all
on.
come out to Sliders and check out what's new.
You got it. That's our buddy Johnny Pop, the Oyster Shucker, one of the main draws out here at Sliders Oyster Bar. Everybody knows Johnny Pop. He's a legend here, and you can tell why. Let's take a break here. We got one more to go. It's a fast-moving Thursday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show coming to you on the patio at Sliders Oyster Bar.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
All right, we are putting the landing gear down, about to wrap things up here. We got about 10 minutes left on the Thursday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show, coming to you from the patio at Sliders Oyster Bar, Thursday home. Remember, tomorrow we're down on the other end of the beach at Rick's. That's our Friday home, and looking forward to being there. We'll really dive into a preview of the NFL weekend playoff games tomorrow, and then we'll start peeking ahead to the Monday National Championship game, and then, of course, Monday we will talk a ton of Ohio State Notre Dame as the college season will wrap up on Monday. And, man, a lot of stuff going on Monday. Martin Luther King Day, Inauguration Day, and the College Football National Championship game all on Monday coming up January 20th. And we'll cover the ball with you or for you on that day. Let's have a few, let's kind of lighten things up a little bit, have some fun here. As the lead story today, I just wanted to make sure I announced it. You probably heard by now, Bob Uecker passed away, the colorful former Major League Baseball player who really found great success on the television and the big screen. Bob Uecker in a bunch of the movies. You remember him from the Major League movies, particularly the original, where he was the radio broadcast. He had several just classic lines that are used every day in broadcasting and certainly sports broadcasting. Bob Uecker passed away today at the age of 90. What a colorful career. What a fun guy he was. Always making you laugh, making somebody laugh. And one of the news stories of the day. Zach, I want to pull you back up here if you've got a second. I want to run this by you. And I think you've probably heard this. Over the years, there's been kind of a saying about hockey players. And the saying is hockey players are just different. I don't know. They're just a different breed. It's a very unique game, a very physical game. There's allowed fighting in hockey, and you've probably heard that, Zach. Hockey players are just different. You've kind of heard that over the years.
I have.
They are built different. How about this story? I don't know if you heard. This was from a few days ago. So there's a Montreal Canadian hockey player. Okay, I can't find his name, but he's a current player on the team this year. This just happened very recently. So this Montreal Canadian, Montreal is playing a game in Salt Lake City against the Utah Grizzlies, I think is the name of that NHL team, right? So they're playing a game there, and I don't know if it was early in the day. Maybe they got there the night before, and it was early in the day or the day before. They may have gotten there a day before, but the Montreal Canadian player, he was in downtown Salt Lake City on foot, just walking around. Obviously he's a visiting team player, doesn't have a car, and he just, I don't know, the hotel might have been within walking distance. I don't know, a coffee shop or a place to eat or what have you. So the Montreal player, hockey player, is walking around. So later that night, the injury report comes out, and this player is listed as out for 3 to 4 weeks due to an upper body injury. Okay?
All right.
So that would lead you to believe, okay, probably the previous game, he got crunched like hockey players do at some point, right?
Sure.
And he's out for 3 to 4 weeks with what's described by the medical staff for the Canadians, an upper body injury. Zach, upon more information coming out, the guy was walking downtown Salt. He got hit by a car.
Got smacked by a car?
He was a pedestrian walking, and he got hit by a car. They didn't say he'll be out 3 to 4 weeks because he was walking in downtown Salt Lake City and he got hit. They said, it's just an upper body injury.
Yeah. How I know. I like how they always, the hockey, they're always real discreet with their injuries. Just whole upper body or whole lower body. There's no specifics. Yeah. How fast was the car going?
No, but
what kind of car is this? This is crazy.
It's just hilarious though that that is so hockey, right? He's out 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, yeah, okay, upper body injury. Okay, yeah, sure. Everybody in the world, if you're not a hockey player or don't know the game, you'd think, okay, he must have got ran into the board like they do, or got hit by the puck or a stick in the side. Mm-hmm. He's out. No, he got hit by a car.
Well, he come back faster than Ricky Pearsall came back from being shot in the preseason.
That's
Ricky. He came back pretty fast.
Ricky Pearsall came back really quick. I thought you were going to go with, okay, but how's the car?
You see the other guy. Yeah.
How's the car? Okay, so that's one story about hockey players. We got about 3 minutes left. We'll get out of here. Did you hear the story? It broke today. It's not a big deal, but I think if you put if you start connecting the dots, Ohio State, this year's Ohio State football team, they just kicked off a walk-on. Did you hear the story about the walk-on they just kicked off the team?
Oh, no, I didn't know.
The guy hasn't played a snap. He's just a walk-on. But I think, some of these bowl games.
Oh, yeah.
So, but if you're a walk-on, you're on the team. You practice with the team. You're in the locker room with the team. And even like the big games, you could take like 80 players with you sometime. It's different rules. The regular season, I think you can only dress like 60. But so this walk-on guy gets kicked off the Ohio State football team like 2 days ago. Well, come to find out, and Ohio State hasn't really said why, but he's a massive TikTok guy. And he's got this massive following, and he does a lot of stuff around Ohio State football, obviously, and he's got action. I think he went across lines and probably, some stuff you shouldn't put, you know how the NFL guys got in trouble for having their cameras going in the locker room after a game?
Oh, yeah, Antonio Brown in the Steelers locker room. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, there's things you're not going to want, and this guy probably was crossing that line.
I would imagine, I can't see anything specific, but it feels like that probably is what it is. Man, he's going to be in a rude. He's got a rude start to his 2025 being kicked off the team, and also, TikTok is in its final days most likely. It's almost at the end of that whole app. So he's got to really evaluate his life.
Do you think it's going to be killed, TikTok?
That's what the rumors are looking like. I don't know how official that's going to become, but that's really how it's looking like what we're trending towards. Yeah.
And somebody will jump in and replace it, right? Somebody will, Elon Musk or somebody will come out with something. And
I'm sure there's things there are people that are working to pounce on the opportunity at people who are without their precious TikTok to take their mind away. Yeah, there probably is workings. Yeah.
I've never really gotten into the TikTok world in terms of creating or following. Did you do it much, or have you done it much?
I have before. I've kind of taken it off because I feel like it kills my battery way too fast to be on that with the videos and stuff. Honestly, it's really distracting. It's just, I don't know. It's not my favorite social media platform, but I understand how it's big.
Is it the one that's only like 7 seconds or something?
Yeah, they're like, I think the longest you maybe do is maybe like a 30-second video, but they're usually like 15 or less.
30, and we only have 50 seconds left. Did TikTok?
That's right.
Is that what killed Vine or something? Or somebody told me?
Well, Vine was already dead, but TikTok kind of revived their format, so to speak. Vine was 6 seconds or less.
Oh, maybe that's the one.
Yeah.
And I never that either. So there you have it. Hockey players, they're just built a little different.
They are.
Hope the car was okay. All right, Zach, good job back in World Headquarters. We appreciate everything you guys do back there. I certainly want to thank Johnny Pop for sitting in for a few moments, and we enjoyed that. We'll get together tomorrow on a Friday. That means we'll be down at Rick's Jack's Beach. Until then, have a great rest of your afternoon, everybody, and we'll talk tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since